Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma viṣādbhinnaṃ. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So yesterday we saw that my inherent nature is self-effulgence and absolute bliss. So the disciple is now asking, he may have a doubt. If the self is self-effulgent and absolute bliss, there are two problems. One, if it is bliss, then I should not feel this grief and therefore run for the knowledge, run to you for knowledge. That is impossible. And if I am self-effulgent, I don't need Vedanta. But both are here. I need both. So what you see, you say that the self is self-effulgent and it is of the nature of bliss, is little doubtful. If you say, then we said, because of the error, there is always a possibility of erroneous knowledge. Erroneous knowledge takes place because of some error. Like the rope snake. When you say snake, it is not really snake. You see snake because of the error of light. Similarly, you see the silver because of the error of light. Similarly, you see everywhere, wherever there is erroneous knowledge, it is because of some error or other. Like the dream. Dream is because of the error of sleep. So here the same logic applies. Therefore, he says, yathā dṛṣṭinirodhārto sūryo nāstīti manyate tathājñānāvṛto dehī brahma nāstīti manyate. Yathā dṛṣṭinirodhārto sūryah nāsti iti manyate tathājñānāvṛto dehī brahma nāsti iti manyate. Yathā dṛṣṭinirodhārto. Yatha, like dṛṣṭinirodha. Drishti means your vision. Nirodha means obstacle. It is prevented. It is stopped. When the vision is stopped, meaning when a person is blind. Artha means a person who is pained, who is in pain because of his blindness. Now, blindness, saying blindness is a kind of crime. They want us to say something else, and then they said, no, that is also not right. Then something else, then that is also not right. That something else, because you are hurting the psychology of the other person. But now the whole world is psychological patient, because you have to always think, should I say this or not? You're always wondering. The thing is, in Shastra, let them be whatever. In Shastra, we have a very beautiful word for that. The word for the blindness is divya chakshu. Divya chakshu, divine eyes. Divya drishti is divine vision. This is divine eyes. This is exactly what these fellows are saying. Divine organs, sense organ, something like that. So here he says, dṛṣṭinirodhārto, a person who is blind and who is pained because of blind, now who is troubled because of blind, sūryah nāstīti manyate. He declares, he understands that there is no sun. There is no sun. Why? Because he says, I smell, I taste, I feel the touch, I don't see the sun. Sun does not exist. So, similarly, tathājñānāvṛto. I, one whose vision is veiled by ignorance. One whose self-effulgence is veiled by ignorance. Me, dehī, me, the jiva, brahma nāstīti manyate. Think that the Brahman does not exist. The prameyagata dosha, this is not prameyagata dosha. He says prameya itself does not exist. The self itself does not exist. Okay. Now, yathāmṛtaṃ. Now he is explaining it through different examples. This example we have already seen. yathāmṛtaṃ viṣādbhinnaṃ viṣadoṣairna lipyate na spṛśāmi jaḍādbhinnaṃ jaḍadoṣānprakāśayan. yathāmṛtaṃ viṣādbhinnaṃ viṣadoṣairna lipyate na spṛśāmi jaḍādbhinnaṃ jaḍadoṣānprakāśayan. To establish this, he is using an example. This example we have seen already. What is he saying? yathāmṛtaṃ viṣādbhinnaṃ. Like the nectar, the elixir is different from the poison. We saw this example. Viṣayam viṣatulyohi. When we talked about viṣaya, I said viṣaya is like viṣa is like viṣa. Viṣaya is like viṣa. The objects are like sense objects are like poison. And there he said about poison. There are two objects. One is a sweet, and the other something which you like. There is one object which is sweet. On the other side, you have nectar. And in the sweet, A, there are three scenarios. A, you have mixed a little bit of poison. B, you have cheated that I have put poison in it. C, you are very sure there is no poison. A, there is little bit of poison. B, there is a doubt of poison. C, there is no poison absolutely. Now still, will you leave the nectar and eat this? Even though if you add poison in the nectar, I said this also. Even though if you add poison in the nectar is not changed. The nature of nectar does not change. So even if you have added poison in the nectar and you are presented with that nectar, you are going to take that nectar, not the poison, the sweet, which even though it may not have poison, does not really matter. That example we saw there. Now he is using the example in a very beautiful way. yathāmṛtaṃ viṣādbhinnaṃ viṣadoṣaihi na lipyate. The nectar elixir is different from the poison. It is not affected by the defects of poison. This is the beauty of nectar. Nectar, you add poison. Nectar does not change. Poison, you add nectar. Then poison changes, becomes nectar. Nectar is something which has a unique nature which destroys anything. You add poison to it or poison in it, does not really matter. You add in poison this nectar, does not really matter. It becomes all nectar. Like people, they go to Rishikesh and things like that. They bring in Ganges water, Ganga Jala, and they put a drop of Ganges water in their bathing water and then take bath. What did you take? I took bath in Ganges. So similarly here, this happens in Brahmin's house during the Deepavali. In Deepavali, they'll have a small vessel, a brass vessel, in which they'll have Ganges. It's a sealed vessel. They'll put a hole and then put a drop of it and then cover the lid also again. Seal it again. And Deepavali, everyone, have you taken bath? That is not the question they ask. Have you taken Ganges bath? Yes, yes. Even if he has taken bath in the tap water, he'll say, yes, yes, yes. Even though he didn't add drop of water, he'll say yes. Because Ganges bath here means you have to take a bath after applying oil. Tailabhyanga snana, they say. So anyway, that is a different story. Now here, viṣadoṣaihi na lipyate, the poison, the effect of poison does not affect the nectar. So similarly, jaḍādbhinnaḥ jaḍadoṣānprakāśayan spṛśāmi. I am one who is different from the inert. I am the one who illumines the inert and its defects. I am the one who illumines the inert and its defects. I am not affected by it. I am not tainted by it. See, the self is that one which gives the existence and the experience nature of the object, for the object. So I am not one who is like the light. Light shines on the object, gives it existence. Similarly, the self shines on the object to give it existence and experience. I am not tainted by them. Okay, but still, the knowledge, I have a doubt. What is the doubt? So you just got knowledge now in this birth. That too, after long practice, you got knowledge. This knowledge which you got is small knowledge when compared to what? When compared to the ignorance. What? When compared to the ignorance, your knowledge is small. Why? Because ignorance started from anadi, you only told. Beginningless, costless time, beginningless time. It was there for so long. How can your small knowledge eradicate it, negate it, destroy it? It is impossible. So, for that doubt, he is giving an example. Svalpāpi dīpakaṇikā, bahulaṃ nāśayettamaḥ, svalpo'pi bodho mahatīmavidyāṃ śamayettathā. Dīpakaṇikā svalpāpi. The light in the lamp may be a very small light. Maybe very small. Svalpāpi, even though it may be small, bahulaṃ tamaḥ nāśayettamaḥ. A huge, big darkness, it will destroy. I'll give you an example. See, if you go to Badrinath, etc., it is like where no man has landed ever. That is the kind of situation. Star Trek kind of situation. You go there, there are so many caves which no one has ever visited. So, it is from the what? See, there can be two explanations here. The scientists say Himalayan range is a new mountain because of two tectonic plates. They came together. It came into existence. If you accept that from the time the mountain came into existence due to this action, or if you accept Shastra, there is a stone there called Brahma Kapala. There is a stone there called Brahma Kapala. Okay. In that stone, the story of the stone is, there is a story to the stone also. The story of the stone is, they say Brahmaji, the creator, sat on top of it to create the whole universe. Don't ask. I asked, where was the stone before Brahma is created? Don't ask that. Anyway, he had a seat. He was sitting on that and he created everything. Fine. Very good. So now, on that stone, when people go to Badrinath, this is after a year of death. That is when they have to climb mountains to go to any mountain god. To meet any mountain deity, they have to go only after a year of death of a person. So after a year of death, when they go there, they do this program called tarpana, meaning it is to please the ancestors. They feed a rice ball and sesame seeds. They mix it and they feed them. And all this, normally in cities, when you do, cities or in villages, they drop it in the river. There, they place it on top of that stone. So it is as though the ancestors are blessed by the Brahmaji himself. Now, the story is in that cave, the cave which existed for so long, in that cave, if you take your small torch, the darkness was there for so long, but still this torch immediately dispels the darkness. The old darkness? Yes, the old darkness. Immediately. It goes like that. So, but another story also is here. Though the darkness in front of you is removed, see, normally what is LED? LED will be very bright in darkness. In light, you will not even see the LED. Now, in this darkness, when you shine this light, the darkness as though swallows the light. It will not go further. Normally, when you in a normal place outside, when you shine that torch, it reaches like like if you hold the LED torch, you can even illumine the stars. That is the kind of ray you can see. But here, it doesn't reach farther. So this idea is at least it dispels the darkness in front of you immediately. Similarly, tatha bodho svalpo'pi mahatīmavidyāṃ śamayettathā. There, similarly, even though the knowledge may be little bit, but still it destroys great, big, huge, old ignorance. Okay. That is why we say the definition is ānandatvānna sati jnana nivartyatvam. The definition for ignorance is ānandatvānna sati jnana nivartyatvam. It may be, it is something which is eternal, but it is removed by knowledge. From time immemorial, it may have existed, but it is removed by knowledge. Example, like the absence of pot. The absence of pot, when did it start from? From the time of creation. But when did it end? When you created the pot. Over. So, similarly, it is like pragabhava, we call it. Okay? Now, cidrūpatvānna me jāḍyaṃ satyatvānnānṛtaṃ mama ānandatvānna me dūḥkhamajñānādbhāti tattrayam. Now, we saw this example, we saw in a different light earlier. See, satyam jnanam anantam brahma. We saw satyam jnanam anantam brahma. And we explained satyam jnanam anantam as to it. We gave two explanations. Itara vyavrutyartham and we said vyatirekena abhava. Vyatirekena abhava. This is the word especially used by Bhagavan Bhashyakara in the commentary Taittiriya Upanishad. Vyatirekena abhava, to signify the absence of the contrary. When he says satya, I said satya to signify the absence of the contrary, which is asatya, non-real, the false. To say it has absence of falsehood, I said satya. When I say jnana, I wanted to negate the ignorance. Therefore, I say jnana. Ananda, I want to say that it is not of the nature of sorrow. I said ananda. Now here, he is using it from this side. We negated from the opposite side. Now he is doing it from this side. What does he say? Cidrūpatvānna me jāḍyaṃ satyatvatna anṛtaṃ mama ānandatvāt name duḥkham ajñānādbhāti tattrayam. Cidrūpatvat, since my inherent nature is of knowledge, consciousness, jāḍyaṃ name, there is no inertness in me. Since I am of the nature of consciousness, there is no inertness in me. There, I am not inert. Okay? Inertness is not in me. Then, satyatvat anṛtaṃ mama na mama anṛtaṃ na. Since I am the nature of truth, there is no falsehood in me. There is no lie. There is no illusion in me. Ānandatvāt me duḥkham na. Since I am the nature of bliss, there is no sorrow in me. But I see all these. I feel myself to be inert. I see myself to be non-existent, false, and I see myself to be sorrow, in sorrow, deep sorrow. So that he says, tattrayam, all that three, the idea of all that three, ajñānādbhāti, shines in me because of ignorance. Those three means not satya, jnana, ananta. Those three means the contrary, asatya, ajnana, and anta. They shine in me because of ignorance. Okay. So then when did it come into existence? Oh, that's a good question. For that he says, kālatraye yathā sarpo rajjau nāstīti tathā mayi ahaṅkārādi dehāntam jagat nāstītyaham advayah. Kālatraye yathā sarpah rajjau nāsti tatha mayi ahaṅkārādi dehānta jagat nāsti aham advayah. Yathā kālatraye rajjau sarpah nāsti. In all the three periods of time, the snake never existed in the rope. When I see rope snake, when I understand that it is rope, where was the snake? There was no snake before. There is no snake which is going to be there after the negation. Then, during this time of perception, does it exist? We said, ādau antau yen nāstīti madhyepi tathājñānāvṛto. That which didn't have existence before and later. In the in-between period also, it is same. It doesn't have any existence. Therefore, we say, in all the three periods of time, nāstīti, nāstīti, na bhavishyati. It didn't exist earlier. It doesn't exist now. It will not exist later. In all the three periods of time, it had no existence. What is that? The snake in the rope. It never had any existence. Similarly, tatha mai ahankari dehantam jagat nasti. Similarly, in me, right from ego till the body, external existed. No, jagat, he added the jagat word, that's why. Right from the ego till the body, if you just stop there, then you accept the existence of the external world. So, jagat, he adds. Jagat means jāyate gacchate, we said. That which is temporary, transient. Whatever is temporary, whatever is transient, that is a jagat. So, in all the three periods of time, this transient thing, whatever transient existence is, that has no existence in me. Why? That he is answering with aham advaya, I am non-dual. Only if there is something dual, only if there is some duality, some other existence of something else, there can be some possibility of it existent with me, along with me, in me, etc. But since I am non-dual, it cannot exist in me, it cannot exist along with me, it cannot exist prior or post than me. So, but how? Again, I'm seeing this. I'm seeing this ignorance. Who is this? Who is illuminating this ignorance? Who is illumining this ignorance? So he says, bhānau tamah prakāśatvam na angīkurvanti sajjanāha tamas tatkārya sakshīti bhrantir buddhir ahomai. We said the self does not illumine the ignorance. We also said the ignorance is illumined by the witness principle, the sakshi. Avidya vritti avachinna chaitanya. We also established the sakshi, definition of sakshi to be avidya vritti avachinna chaitanya. Okay. Now, he is giving you example. Bhanau tamah prakāśatvam sajjanaha nangi kurvanti. In the sun, okay. When you open a room for the light to enter, why do you use that light? You say, I want to see the darkness in the room. Is it ever possible to see the darkness using the sunlight? Sajjanaha, any intelligent person, na angikuranti, will never accept darkness perceived through light. Here, he is not saying darkness, illumination of darkness. Then you say, tama and prakasha, the sun and the darkness, just that. Then we will say, because we have science knowledge, we will say, oh, there is black hole. In the very sun, there is darkness. Or in the light also, there is dark spot in the center. So we will say that. No. Illumining the darkness with sun, no one will accept. So that is why in the introductory bhashya of Brahma Sutra, Sambandha Bhashya, Adhyasa Bhashya, he says there, Yushmadaspat pratyagocharayoho vishay vishaynoho tamah prakāśavad viruddhas bhāvayoho itra bhāvānupatto siddhāya. Yushmad asmad gochara. Yushmad, you. Asmad, I. Gochara pratyaya, that knowledge which illumines the idea of you and I, are like Vishaya and Vishi. You are the object and I am the subject. Object and subject are like tamah prakashavad viruddhayoho, are like darkness and light. They are contradictory like darkness and light. Something which is contradictory like darkness and light cannot coexist. Itara bhava anupatto siddhayam. That is why I say they cannot coexist. So he says that darkness you cannot say is illumined by light. No intelligent person will accept. And aho, what a great stupidity. Why? Tamaha tat karya sakshi iti mai bhranti buddhi. I have this erroneous knowledge. I had this erroneous knowledge that I am the one who is illumining the ignorance and its effect. I am the witness for the ignorance and its effect. This is what I thought. What a stupidity. Oh, he says, what a stupidity. I thought I am the witness for the ignorance and the effect. Whereas I cannot, there is nothing. That is why he started with aham advayaha, that one point. I am non-dual. If there is something else other than me, I can illuminate, I can be witness for that. There is nothing other than me. I keep repeating, there is no sakshya, object. Therefore, there can be no sakshi, witness. So, yathā shītam jalam vannihi sambandhat ushnavat bhavet buddhi tādatmya sambandhat kartrutvam vastuto nahi. But you say you are not associated with it, but all this doership, etc., is seen in you, is seen in person, people. So he says, yathā shītam jalam vanni sambandhat ushnavat bhavet buddhi tādatmya sambandhat kartrutvam vastuto nahi. Yathā shītam jalam. Jalam means water. Shītam means cold. Okay. So the logicians defined water as a Shīta sparshavatya apaha. Shīta sparshavati apaha. Water is something which has cold, which is cold to touch. That is what they define, which is cold to touch. Now, when you go to the same Badrinath, in front of the temple, there is this hot spring. Water is hot. And in front of Yamunotri, there is this hot spring where they pack a rice in a bag or a cloth and then dip it in for 2 minutes, take it out. You get good cooked food, cooked rice. Perfect. 2 minutes. Dip it. Not even 2 minutes. Dip it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds, 10 seconds over. It's so hot. I stayed in a room above it. The hot spring was below and I stayed above it. First, it was very nice because the external outside temperature is very cold and I felt very happy. Oh, I got a best room. After some time, it was torture. So, think as Ushnaspashabat apha. See, the water is cold, but only when it is in contact with sulfur, there, heat outside, it becomes hot. The same water becomes hot. But in inner nature of water is to be cold. So he says, sambandha, because of the association, it becomes hot. Similarly, tatha buddhisa tādatmya sambandhat, because of the identification with the intellect. Tādatmya means tadatmane bhava iti tādatmya. Tādatmya means identifying myself as that. I have identified myself as that intellect. Because of that error, kartrutvam, I have this doership, etc. Because of that identification, I have this doership, etc. Vastutana, in reality, that doesn't exist in me. There is no doership, there is no experiencership, etc. The doership, experiencership, etc. are for the Chidabhasa. the self is not tainted by doership, experiencership, etc. The doership, experiencership, etc. means the one being the indweller, etc. for the Ishvara. That is also because of his Chidabhasa only. In reality, Ishvara also does not have the nature of blessing, indweller, creation, etc. That also does not exist. So, very good. He says, Jalabin. How can you say you are not associated with that? When you stay together, there is some association or something else. You love or hate. There is a possibility always. So, how do you say it doesn't exist in you? I'll give an example. Just because we are into it together, that does not mean that there is a relationship. Why? He says, Jalabindubhir akasham nasiktam nacha shuddhyati tatha ganga jalenaham nashuddho nitya shuddhatah. Jalabindubhi akasham nasiktam nacha shuddhyati tatha ganga jalena aham nashuddha nitya shuddhatah. Akasham nitya shuddhatah is a hetu. You can use it for both. Akasham because it is ever pure. Jalabindubhi, the raindrops. Jalabindu means water drops. The raindrops. By the raindrops, nasiktam nacha shuddhyati. It is not made wet or it is not purified. The water drops do not purify or wet the ether space because it is ever pure. Similarly, aham nitya shuddha. I am ever pure. Therefore, Ganga jalena na shuddha. I cannot be purified by the Ganges water. People take dip in Ganges water for purification. It's a purification, right? They do it. Now, I am not purified by that dip in water. Physical, okay, there's a possibility. Physically, you get purified, right? Taking bath purifies the body. That is also not possible. Why? Because only when there is identification with the body exists. I have already said advayaha, non-dual. Once there is non-duality, where is external object? Where is internal object? There is nothing. Okay, not the body external, but the inside of the body. That sometimes is made happy or satisfied. So he says, vrikṣṭoṭpanna phalayir vrikṣah yathā triptim na gacchati manyate annapānādhyaihi tathā triptirna vidyate. An idea which was already established is repeated here. Vrikṣṭoṭpanna phalayhi vrikṣo yathā triptim na gacchati mayi adyastha annapānādhyaihi tathā triptirna vidyate. He says, the idea is vrikṣṭoṭpanna phalayhi. Vrikshaha yathā triptim na gacchati. Like the fruits which are there in the tree does not satisfy or make happy this tree. This tree is not happy or satisfied because of the fruit. It doesn't gain satisfaction because of the fruit. Oh, this is very tasty fruit. I will not let anyone eat. No, it doesn't do it. Or the poisonous fruit. Oh, this poison fruit doesn't spit out. No. The tree thus is not any which way bothered about because it is its part, it is its nature. We saw this with reference to the desire for the ocean to have waves or foams. The ocean, samudraha yathā tarangasāvā phena āshāvā na vanchati. Phena va na vanchati. That is what it says. Yathā tarangaha phenam va yathā samudraha tarangam va phenam va na vanchati. Like the ocean does not desire to have the waves or the foams because it's in its nature. Similarly, this tree does not desire or want this fruit. It is its inner nature. It's part of it. Similarly, tatha mayi adyastha annapānādhyaihi. These fruits cannot satisfy the tree. Similarly, the food, water, etc. What are they? food and water are objects. Objects means different from me. Different from me means non-self. That non-self cannot satisfy me. Triptim na vidyate. I am not satisfied by that. I cannot gain satisfaction. I don't desire to gain satisfaction through that food, etc. Sthano prakalpitas choraha. So, okay, outside the body, no, outside body, no. Inside body, no. Maybe externally, not the body, not the mind, externally, or the mind. Let us say the mind. The body and external objects don't affect you. The inside and the external objects don't affect you. But the mind, that will definitely affect you, isn't it? So he says, sthano prakalpitas choraha, sasthanuttam na badhate, swasmin kalpita jivascha, badhitum swam na shakyate. Sthano prakalpitah choraha, sasthanuttam na badhate. स्वस्मिन् कल्पित जीवश्च बाधितुं स्वं न शक्यते. स्थानो चोरः प्रकल्पितः. We imagine there is a pillar. Farther there is a pillar. You say, oh, there is a person, right? You see a thief. Like one day we were waiting at the gates of the ashram, thinking there is a deer. That's a deer. Shh, shh, don't talk. It's runway. Waiting for half an hour. You saw the plant. So, like that, now the deer which we superimposed on that plant, did it remove the plantness? Did the deer kick off the plantness? Hey, they are superimposing me. You get out. No. Similarly, the pillar on which you superimposed a person does not dismiss or drive away the pillarness, the treeness. Therefore, simsa sthanuttam na badhate doesn't drive away the pillarness or treeness. Similarly, swasmin kalpita jivascha. So the jiva, the state of being jiva, individual self, is imagined in me. That imagined jiva cannot drive away my inherent nature. Swam badhitum na shakyate. It cannot negate my inherent nature. Like the imagined person does not drive away the substratum in which he has imagined. Similarly, the imagined jivahood does not drive away the self. We'll see this. Om Purnamadah Purnamadam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.